it's not a stigma, I think, anymore. I mean, with groups like BW Rock and the other groups, people realize it's just everyday people. It's me, it's you. It's not that I have an addiction, but it's people like me that could have an addiction, and it's anybody in the workplace, and it's something that we all need to deal with as a community, or it's not going to go away.
Welcome to this week's edition of Recovery Happens. Today we're going to be sitting down with Mayor Pauline Repp, an important supporter of the recovery community.
I'm Pauline Repp, and I'm the mayor of the city of Port Huron. Well, I think I've learned a lot over the last couple of years. It's been far more, the problem is something that's not only in the city of Port Huron, it's across the state of Michigan and across the country. But I think we kind of tend to not look at it, and I think it's come to the forefront more in the last little bit, and especially in the last 2 years, when I've seen the organizations coming together. So I think it's taken a little learning curve to kind of realize that there's a whole population out there that suffers with addiction and needs to have the support groups that come forward. And a committee was formed. It's called the Opioid Epidemic Executive Oversight Committee, and it's quite a name to try to get that one out. But it's run by the sheriff, Sheriff Donnellan, and he is the chair of it. And there's myself, and there's county health, and there's mental health, and there's Michigan Works, and there's DHS, and there's the church group, and there's BW Rock, and there's a whole lot of organizations that have come together to make sure that we could kind of get a handle on what there is that's offered in the community and where we can help. And it's not that we are actually doing the help. There's subcommittees that all of these groups belong to, but the oversight is to make sure that it's not duplicated. The efforts aren't duplicated, because then it gets lost. If you've got people competing to, I can do this, and no, I can do it better, and this kind of thing, you need to separate it out and have a community work group that actually does deal with the problem and see what they can do to have it's not only dealing with the problem, it's the prevention. So there's all kinds of parts of it. It's the prevention and knowing that people have the right places to go to for help, and it's like one-stop shopping, I guess is what I would call it. It is a community problem, and it does take everybody. It's like they say, it takes a village. It's not just a community problem, though. It's a county-wide problem. It's a city of Port Huron problem, a state of Michigan problem, and a United States problem. And a lot of it has probably been a stigma, I think, for a lot of years. People have the addiction, and nobody wanted to accept that that's in their family or wherever. And so it's not a stigma, I think, anymore. With groups like BW Rock and the other groups, people realize it's just everyday people. It's me, it's you. It's not that I have an addiction, but it's people like me that could have an addiction, and it's anybody in the workplace. And it's something that we all need to deal with as a community, or it's not going to go away. Well, you asked what's going on this next weekend, and there's the BW Rock sponsored softball game, and you have participants from all over Michigan, I believe, and I will be there to throw out the first pitch. I don't do a real good job at it, but I'll be there.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Recovery Happens. Drugs and alcohol have affected so many lives across the nation today. Join us. Partner with BW Rock and join the cause for recovery by going to our website, bwrock.org, and click Donate. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Blue Water Area Chamber of Commerce.